Alright guys, so now we are going to do the problem number, one more problem about divisions. And so we are going to look at the problem number 32. And on this problem number 32, we have the polynomial p of x. And this polynomial p of x is equal to x to the 7 plus 1. And we need to divide that polynomial by x plus 1. So, first and foremost, if I just study the polynomial x to the 7, technically I should have x to the 0,6 plus 0x to the 5 plus 0x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x and finally plus 1. I need to have a decreasing exponent, so this is why I must not forget that I need to have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0x. So if I do the synthetic division, I'm going to have x plus 1, so I'm going to take the plus 1. If it was x minus 1, I would have taken x minus 1, but in this case, I'm taking plus 1 because I can see there is plus 1 in x plus 1. Now, I'm getting a 1, 0 for x to the 6, 0 x to the 5th, 0 x to the 4th, 0 x cubed, 0 x squared, 0 x plus 1. I bring down the 1. One by 1 equal 1, and I subtract. Now I got negative 1. 1 by negative 1 equal negative 1, but because of the minus right here, this minus becomes plus, and so now I got plus 1. Plus 1 by plus 1 equal plus 1, but because of this minus right here, I'm getting now a minus 1. 1 by minus 1, it's minus 1, but because of the minus, this becomes a plus, and so now I got a plus 1. Plus 1 by multiplied by plus 1 equal plus 1. But now this plus 1 is going to become a minus. So, oops. So now this is become a minus. 1 by negative 1 equal negative 1. I'm adding, so that becomes a plus. Therefore, I end up to have a plus 1. 1 by plus 1 equal plus 1. Bring that down. And because I subtract, I end up to have a 0. And so, what was right here, what was x to the 7 is now right there x to the 6. And so I'm getting x to the 6 minus x to the 5th plus x to the 4th minus x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 1. And obviously, I could write plus 0 divided by x plus 1, 0 being the rest, but 0, the remainder, but 0 divided by x plus 1 equal 0. So that is the answer of the division of my polynomial. Okay, now let's move on to a next problem. And then the next problem is very simple. They are giving you a value of problem number 33, by example. On this problem number 33, they are giving you a value of k being equal to 3, and they are giving you a polynomial p of x squared minus 4x plus 3. So the question is, can you calculate p of 3? And p of 3 is going to be 3 squared minus 4 times 3 plus 3, which is 9 minus 12 plus 3, and I end up to have 0. Now, if I look at the problem number 43, on the problem number 43, I have a k equal to the cubic root of 4 and a p of x equal to minus x cubed plus x plus 4. And so p of the cubic root of 4 equal minus cubic root of 4 cube plus cubic root of 4 plus 4. The cubic root of 4 cube equal 4 with the minus and with the negative in the front. I got negative 4 plus cubic root of 4 plus 4 plus 4 negative minus 4 cancel out, and the answer is going to be the cubic root of 4. All right, so now let's calculate problem number 45. On this problem number 45, what do we have? They are telling you, use synthetic substitution to determine whether the given number is a zero of the polynomial. So they are giving you the number 2 and they are telling you is 2. So the question is 2 a zero of the polynomial p of x? If 2 was a zero, that means when x equal 2, p of 2 would be equal to 0. Or, what I could also say is if I have x equal 2, that implies x minus 2 equals 0. And so if I divide p of x over x minus 2, I will end up with a remainder equal to 0. In that case, it's much easier to substitute x in my polynomial by 2. My polynomial p of x is x squared plus 2x minus 8. So if I calculate p of 2, it's going to be 2 squared plus 2 multiplied by 2 minus 8. And I found 0. So yes, 2 is a 0. Now, if I do the problem number 51, x equal negative 5 is negative 5, a 0 of the polynomial. And the polynomial we are talking about is 8x cubed plus 50x squared plus 47x plus 15. Well, p of negative 5 equal 8 times negative 5 cube. Every time I'm dealing with a negative number, I am putting my negative number in between parentheses. Plus 50 multiplied by negative 5 square plus 47 multiplied by negative 5 plus 15. I'll let you do the calculation. You are going to find that p of negative 1 is different than 0. So no. Oops. I need to change the tip of my pen. So no, negative 5 is not a 0 of the polynomial p of x. Okay, so now for each polynomial at least one 0 is given, find the other analytically. So let's try to do problem number 61. On this problem number 61, we're having a polynomial p of x, and this polynomial p of x is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. And they are saying that x equal 3 is a 0 of p of x. And we need to find the other zeros. We're having a polynomial degree 3, so we might have 2 more zeros. And so what do? Well, basically, if we are having x equal 3 a 0, that implies that x minus 3 equals 0 is the first parenthesis, and basically what we're trying to find is the two others parentheses. So in order to find the two others parentheses, what do we need to do? It's very simple. We just need to divide both sides by x minus 3. And so we will find the two other parentheses. So it's just a question of dividing the polynomial x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6 by x minus 3. So there is two options for you guys. First of all, if I do the synthetic division, I see x minus 3, so I'm going to take negative 3. And I will take the synthetic division of my polynomial, which is going to be 1 for x cubed, minus 2 for x squared, minus 5 for x, and plus 6. And I bring down the 1. Negative 3 multiplied by 1 equals negative 3. I subtract. So negative 3 becomes plus 3. So now I got a plus 1 right here. Negative 3 by plus 1 equals negative 3. I subtract, so my negative 3 becomes plus 3. My negative 3 becomes plus 3. Negative 5 plus 3, negative 2. Negative 3 multiplied by negative 2 equals plus 6. But I subtract, so now that becomes a minus, and so I end up to have a 0. What did I find? I just found out that p of x over x minus 3 is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. And remember, what we're trying to do is find the zeros. So therefore, when I was working on these two parentheses, I'm finding two big parentheses, which is x squared plus x minus 2. And if I'm going to find a 0, I'm going to do x minus 3 equals 0. And I know from the beginning that x equals 3 is a 0. And to find the other 0, I just need to look at x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. So for that, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. X equals minus b, b equals plus 1, so it's going to be minus 1. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 1 squared, minus 4 times 1 for a times negative 2 for c, divided by 2. Because 2 times a equals 1. So I end up to have x equal, so I end up to have x equal negative 1, plus or minus the square root of 1 plus 8, divided by 2, x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 9 divided by 2, which is negative 1 plus or minus 3 divided by 2. And so I end up to have two values of x equals negative 1 plus 3 divided by 2, which is going to be plus 1, and x equals negative 1 minus 3 divided by 2, which is going to be negative 2. So therefore, I can fairly say that x equals 1 and x equals negative 2 are 0 of the polynomial p of x. And so therefore, I can end up finally to say that p of x is equal to x minus 3 times x minus 1 times x plus 2. All right, guys, thank you very much. And I will try to add more problem for you.